I just did a video about Benny Thompson, representative from Mississippi and the NAACP, suing Trump, Giuliani, the Proud Boys, and the Oath Keepers for under the KKK, under the Ku Klux Klan Act of 1874 for inciting the riot. Now, what I thought was interesting is I heard this on the Daily Moth, or saw it on the Daily Moth, which is the deaf news show. This is about 5 minutes of news every day, and it's just very concise, gets right to the point, gives you the basic facts. No like spin or anything. Doesn't have time for that. So it's a really good program. I highly recommend it. But when I went on Google to see Google, I was actually surprised to see that this story was on there on Google. But this is what else was on Google. I just wanted to give you a list. For some reason, they were giving me 40 articles at a time, so I'm going to try to make a quick video reading all of them. Who killed the dinos was the top story one time when I turned it on. Or the first time I turned it on. Who killed the dinos was the top story, a new theory from Harvard. Stan Lee's not so great. Another article about how Stan Lee's not so great, according to a biography or something. An ad from Uber, terms apply, earnings, anyway, just an ad was the third thing. Leading House Democrat sues Trump. So it was the third article on the first time I searched Google. But the interesting thing is all the other stuff I'm going to read, it never appears again. This major news story that they're suing Trump and the stuff about the Capitol conspiracy is going to come out is never mentioned again when I refresh Google 4 times. This is what was mentioned. This is what Google found fit to show as more important. Bill Russell asked Senate to do the right thing, impeaching Trump. A story from 3 days ago, because that already happened, but that's the next one. Ancient Rome, urgent writing. That happened a long time ago. Urgent warning from ancient Rome was the title of that article. Employees can't find workers even though millions are out of work. People aren't wanting to go back to work, and rightly so, because you don't want to spread the virus. We're still in a pandemic. National insecurity impacts of the Space Command. The Mandalorian firing Cara Dune from 11 hours ago. Scientists discover a strange creature half-mile under the ice. A low-mass planet in the habitable zone of Alpha Centauri. I think a mega mass planet. Anyway, in Alpha Centauri that there could be life on, kind of like humanity, or more advanced possibly. Who knows? Schools plan to reopen. Local story. Something about how Takeshi 6ix9ine is terrible by somebody who did his documentary. The U.S. Capitol Police. From 10 hours ago, the U.S. Capitol Police have a no confidence vote. So that's like 20 stories down. Indiana Jones and Crystal Skull is better than you thought. McDonald's, $15 an hour. People trying to get $15 an hour from McDonald's. I can't read that one. A rival search engine to Google. The next pandemic, something from John Oliver Tonight. Michael Jordan enters Daytona with Bubba Wallace. Gla, an ancient city in Mycenae. Mystery is solved somehow. That seems interesting. The Gorilla Glue Girls, a girl who glued her hair with Gorilla Glue. Henry Louis Gates on African American religion. The $1,400 stimulus checks, 2 possible timelines. So again, like finally a news story, like 30 down. Like all these other things are kind of cultural, sports type stuff. Roland $140 million. Roland Emmerich's $140 million sci-fi movie, how he made it during the pandemic. How LSD ruined Pink Floyd's fragile genius, Syd Barrett. I just wrote down that full title because I really like Syd Barrett, and I wouldn't say that LSD ruined him. I didn't read the article, but it just seems kind of rude. Last, something about a service that they have a month free of, whatever. Super Earth by Alpha Centauri, maybe again. Stan Lee's daughter. The Super Earth. Well, I don't know what the Super Earth story is. Stan Lee's daughter story, something about somebody wanting to kill themselves. Janet Jackson. Elon Musk says sell Doge cryptocurrency. Oh yeah, Janet Jackson thanks fans or something after Justin Timberlake's apology. The Barb and Star movie reviewed. Draymond Green comment on Andre Drummond being mistreated during a trade. A documentary on Woody Allen and Mia Farrow that says probably that Mia Farrow is right and Woody Allen is wrong, because it said the nail in the coffin of Woody Allen is what that little thing underneath the headline said. The cat lawyer, we want to see the lawyer who was turned into a cat on a Zoom call. Google two-factor authentication. Selma Hayek's abuse on the Desperado sex scene set, which I for some reason thought had to do with Quentin Tarantino, but I didn't read the article. I just don't like Quentin Tarantino. Remote students are more stressed than in-school students. Marvel fighting for the Disney Black... Somebody from Marvel, like the executive from Marvel, fighting the release of Disney's Black Widow movie. 1891. Oh yeah, the Gunship Cauldron. I didn't write it very well, but some type of cauldron from 1891. Jalen Johnson, a basketball player, puts off this season. Trump impeachment day 4, a podcast from yesterday, I guess, because that's over, or from a couple days ago, 3 days ago. Something I can't read. Old socks, cure insomnia. Kids, schools can now reopen. Kids and COVID, schools can now reopen, which I don't believe. I think that's a bad advice. The Matrix, how great the movie The Matrix was, and Bitcoin went over for $50,000. That's the first 40 stories that Google told me, when the third story was about the suit of Trump. But then I refreshed the page. I'm going to read them as fast as I can. Citibank can't give back $500 million it accidentally sent to somebody. Top story. And that remained the top story every time I refreshed after that. Capitol Police, no confidence. Something about Stan Lee sucks. Trump rips Mitch McConnell for what he said. Short round from the Indiana Jones movie, what he's doing today. What really killed the dinosaurs? Millions are out of work. What you need to know if you got the vaccine. So a different story there. Ancient Rome's warning. Woody Allen versus Mia Farrow documentary. Pipes bust around. That's a local story about pipes busting. The sci-fi movie for $140 million. Schools returning. National security in the Space Command or whatever. A metal band breaking up because one of their members went to the Trump insurrection. Soil biodiversity. Dubai princess says she's being taken hostage. So a new story there. Behind Cara Dune firing. So different story about that. Oh yeah, a chicken hoodie from McDonald's for $5. Animal Crossing, that's cool. What people do with Gulliver items. Giant Planet 9 is probably not real or something. A new store, local story. Janet Jackson's thanks. 18. I don't know what that is actually. Oh, African American religions again. Just abbreviation for the story from Henry Louis Gates. The Coldest Cities. Brooke Baldwin leaves CNN. Half Mile Under the Ice. Creatures discovered. The third stimulus. The rival to Google. Michael Jordan and Bubba Wallace. Draymond Green and Andre Drummond. Carnival in Trinidad and Tobago. The John Oliver story. The Texas grid got overwhelmed, so kind of a different story, because they were not prepared for the cold. How to Play Ring Fit, another Nintendo story. Barb and Star review of the movie. 50 years of Decimal Day in UK and Ireland. I don't know what that is. Pokemon disappearing shinies, another Nintendo story. The state needs workers. The Pink Floyd story. Kit something. Hadrian's breakfast chamber.